Hello everybody, my name is Arturo Rojas and today I'm going to be talking about culturally responsive teaching, better known as CRT. So what is culturally responsive teaching? Culturally responsive teaching is the approach into fostering high order thinking and helping disadvantaged students become independent learners. So the objective of CRT is to help students who are dependent learner become independent learner, and this can really benefit students who might come from an ethnic minority, students of color, but this can also be applied to students who come from low household families or even white Americans. And by the time students uh, leave a certain grade, they should be able to become independent learners. CRT, according to Zaman throughout the webinar and the text, is that of building trust between the student and the educator or vice versa. But the main emphasis should be on the educator and the student. So one way that teachers uh, should be there for a student is understand from where he or she is coming from. For example, a teacher will have numerous students who are from different countries or different nationalities, and the responsibility of that teacher is to learn more about the student, learn more about their traditions, learn more about their customs. Throughout the webinar and the text, Hammond likes to talk about rapport and partnership. And basically, what I got out of the webinar and the text is that teachers should be more open-minded and understand that that a student might come from, let's say, a particular continent, but they might have a different culture and tradition. One key obstacle that Hammond likes to talk about is the bias. She believes that teachers tend to be biased, but at the same time, she likes to tell the reader and the listener that we shouldn't be biased. We should be more inclusive, be willing to understand where a student comes from, but also learn more about their cultures and tradition. I think what she likes to um, say is that we need to let go of our fears and start building that sort of trust, uh, which will allow a student to connect with the teacher and the teacher can connect with the student. Being allied, I think this is very critical right now, especially when we're going through conflicts that relate to the attacks on students who might come from uh, an ethnic group, but also who might experience discrimination. Uh, I think that a teacher needs to be an ally and ensure that a student can count on the support of a teacher, and the teacher will do anything that he or she uh, can do to ensure that the student is safe at school, but also that there is a safe environment on campus. I think that one way that students and teachers can connect is through personal narratives. Like, for example, if a student is struggling with a particular subject, the teacher can tell the student that, I was once a student. I went through the exact same uh, process, and I understand your take and how you're feeling. And the duty of the teacher is to ensure that the student passes the class, but also share personal narratives, and the student can say or think, you know what, the teacher went through the exact same thing, and teacher probably did was go out and seek some sort of assistance, such as tutoring or additional time for completing one assignment, etc., etc. I think that students need to start building confidence in themselves. By that means that they need to be assured that they're not going to be made fun of simply because they're going to ask for help, and that uh, they're not going to be a bully. And when it comes to taking risks, the student needs to be aware that there's going to be a point in the school year that the student's going to have to take a risk uh, in in academia, mainly because the teacher will not always be there. And one way to look at that is that, okay, so what the concepts and material that the teacher gave me throughout the semester, I can apply it, for example, in the final exam or a midterm. And the very critical role of a teacher is to give feedback. If the teacher doesn't give any feedback, then it's likely that that teacher has no interest in a student, or simply does not care about the job of being an educator. But on the contrary, I feel that feedback is important, mainly because you can tell the student that you need to improve on these standards, or you need to work on these concepts. That way, by the next time we have an exam, you'll be ready. And you and apart from that, I can guarantee you that you're going to pass the exam, because all the feedback I give you kind of serves like a study guide. The last part I want to discuss is the learning pit. Basically, my take on the learning pit kind of relates to what I have been discussing. For example, if a student uh, simply doesn't care about the material or the concept and feels like they're not gonna make it, their easy way out is to say, you know what, I quit. I'm just gonna fail the class and retake that particular class in the summer or in a future semester. But then, a student might realize that, you know what, I was wrong in saying that I'm gonna quit. What I'm gonna do is probably go talk to the teacher and ask if the teacher can recommend some pointers. But at the same time, the student should feel confident that the teacher should tell the student, you know what, you made a very bad mistake, but now that you reached out to me, I'm here to help you. And the main objective of the teacher and the student is to get a passing grade by the end of the semester. So this is my take on Zaretta Hammond's webinar and her text. I hope you all enjoy it, and I look forward to your feedback. Thank you.